At ease, brothers. I know what's keeping you from greatness, man. It's not a lack of focus. It's not a lack of understanding knowledge. It's not a lack of, absorbing the right content or reading the right books. It's an energy issue. It's more of a bandwidth issue. You have to understand, man, you have to understand that I'll say the content I've been talking about here recently, me bringing Lynn on my channel recently, you have to understand all that is calculated, brothers. All that is calculated, man, because I saw the writing on the wall and I understand what keeps men from greatness and its bandwidth. I'm going to tell you this, bro. You have to understand how much energy you're putting out towards women. What I mean by that is you have to understand how much energy you're putting out towards, it's the weekend. Who I'm going to hang out with this weekend? Who am I going to DM? When I'm going to get me some more loving? Is old girl going to shoot back? You have no idea how much of your energy is going out towards that. How much bandwidth is going out towards that. So when it comes to focusing on your job and your purpose and figuring out a way to get out of the employment sector and figuring out a way to build this business, it's hard to do that. It's not that you don't have the knowledge. You don't have the bandwidth. So much of our energy, man, is going out in trying to understand the opposite gender, bro. You can deny it if you won't. Sit back and think about it. Sit back and observe yourself over a 24-hour period. Observe yourself, brothers. It's almost like I'm sitting here telling you, brothers, hey, let's move like this. Let's move like this. And somebody comes in and just cuts your right arm off. Just cuts it off for no reason. You don't even know why. And I'm sitting there saying, brothers, this is how we move. Let's move in this order. Let's focus on this. A singular truth. The recipe. Whole time you hearing me, you're hearing exactly what I'm saying, but the whole time your energy is focused on, like, why is my arm missing? Why is this sector of my life jacked up? Like I want to use this arm at some point. Why? Oh, I hear what you're saying, soul, but what's going on over here? That's what's going on, brothers, when that sector of your life is jacked up, man. And I'm telling you, man, just the narrative being pushed is not helping. I don't know who it was. Young brother. I'm assuming it was a young brother. I just tell by the lingo. Young brother commented on my Instagram yesterday. He said, Soul posting this girl on his page or something like that. I said, man, I got to make it cool again to like women. I have to make it cool again to like women. Women are trying to make it cool again to like men. But and I fully understand, brother, the divide that's going on right now. Not the divide between genders, but the overall agenda behind the divide. But you have to understand, man, that once you separate man from woman, you understand that there's a circuit that's broken. There's a circuit that's broken. There's a pattern that's broken. Let me say it like that. I'm going to say it like this, bro. When I talk about patterns, because a lot of times I talk about that pattern, people don't understand what I'm saying. There's a pattern. When you take that journey in life, and you're like, I'm trying to find my awakening. I'm trying to find my understanding. Once you get to that destination, there's something you see at the end. There's a pattern you see at the end. In this latest project, I call it a code. The code to her chemistry. All I'm talking about, brothers, is the face of God. It's just that I don't know what words to put it in unless a person has seen it. A person that's experienced the end of that journey and got that fulfillment, they know what I'm talking about. But when I'm trying to explain it on how it can help you in a certain sector, like when I say the code to her chemistry, you have to understand, man, this same pattern is on everything. And I understand now, like when the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. I didn't understand what that meant for the longest. For the longest, I thought, oh, well, let's just find our way to heaven and let's check that box first. Let's find our way to heaven, then let's start living and having fun. No, brother. What it was saying is, hey, before you start living life and doing all these things, take that journey and get the code to all things. Get the recipe to all things. That way when you turn around and face the world, you can see it. And I'm telling you, man, one thing I'm seeing, bro, like a lot of things we're dealing with as far as relationships, I understand now is because us men lost the code. We lost the code. And when I look at my uncles, and a lot of the old schoolers from my neighborhood, I understand now that they understood something that they didn't know they understood. At some point, and I'm assuming it's my generation, maybe the generation before mine, at some point that information started to just kind of get suppressed or that connection between source and mankind got suppressed. But I fully understand why relationships are doing what they're doing now. And the intention behind it. Because if a man's right arm is missing, he can't focus on going forward. If a woman is in the same position, she can't focus on going forward. But it's about connecting that circuit. It's about connecting that circuit, man. And I understand there's a narrative being pushed, bro. I understand that a lot of men are saying, hey man, just focus on self, man, and just do X, Y, Z and be the greatest version of yourself, which is smart. That's smart, brother. But what do you do after that? Like at some point, brothers, you have to start seeing the writing on the wall. You have to start seeing the writing on the wall and say, you know what? That parade is fun, but that parade won't last forever. Trust me, bro. Trust me. I'm gonna tell you this. I had some of the best times in my life when I was single and traveling the world and hiking in Africa and boating in Mexico and doing all these other things in Giza. That was fun, bro. But there was still something inside of me, man, that wasn't fulfilled. And it's not about having a woman in your life. It's not about that. It's about to be honest, bro, it's about understanding the other side of yourself. It's about understanding the other side of yourself. Like I'm saying the pattern is in everything. Recipe, a singular truth, mastering higher and lower self. The code, mastering higher and lower self, understanding how to find the 1% woman. To be honest, it's talking about how to find the 1% side of yourself. And once you find that, you have no choice but to attract the equal version of you. That's really all about, brother. It's really all about finding the 1% version of yourself and moving in that energy. And as a result, you will get nothing but 1% women in your life. Because I'm going to tell you this, man. As a 47-year-old, I know a lot of y'all brothers that are watching this, man, are slightly younger, 30s, maybe upper 20s. Brother, trust me when I tell you, man. And I remember my uncle telling me this. I was a much younger man. I remember him telling me when he saw me moving in a certain energy in this male dominant independent energy. He told me, he said, Nev, that ain't gonna last always. At some point, you're going to want X, Y, and Z, and you're going to need this and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, Unc. But now I see what he's saying. It's not about a codependent need for woman. It's about just having a balance of life and moving in a certain order and certain energies coming your way in life doing a certain thing. I'm going to tell you, brothers. Like I know, man, I know. I don't care what men say. I don't care how hard you beat your chest. I know for a fact every single man would love to have a reflection of him attached to him. If he's a purpose-driven man. I'm talking about men that are moving forward. I'm only talking about men that are moving in a certain direction. There's no greater feeling than having another version of yourself attached to you, helping you go towards your mission. There's no greater version than that. And I understand the frustration in men not getting women that fit that bill. I understand that. So when I'm talking about finding your 1% woman, I'm talking about finding the highest version of yourself and attracting the 1% in all areas of life, brothers. You know, like I'm saying, man, it just blows my mind, because now, looking back, I understand that, like, for the longest, I couldn't understand, like my uncles and my aunts. I couldn't understand for nothing how they were the way they were in these times. Like, they've been married 20, 30. One of my uncles and us were married 63 years. 63 years married, bro. And every time I saw them, it was like they were on their first date. I couldn't make sense of that, man. He walked in a certain order. She responded to that order. And there was something I couldn't even explain for the longest. Now I understand it. Now I understand that my uncle just had that code, whether he called it a code or whether he even knew the knowledge. And I'm just telling you, but this whole wave of knowledge just missed us over the last 30, 40, 50 years, man. It just missed us. I'm just telling you, brothers, it's all about completing the circuit. It's all about getting that bandwidth back. Because I'm telling you, man, as long as you don't have that energy, honed in and directed in the right way, brother, it's going to be very hard to move forward. It's going to be very hard to tap into that greatness.